Hey guys, just to warn you that the audio at the beginning of this show is pretty rough, the first half hour. I apologize. I got a little smarter at the end and laid my phone down on the table. So if you want to fast forward to 30 minutes, you'll hear the rest of my interview, including Linda Schiller, Lauren Schneider, and Victoria Rabinowe. But give it a try. See if this first part is something that you can listen to. I think there were some interesting points made. So carry on.
If you interrupt the dreaming, they won't realize they're awake, and with no surprise, see in your eyes serene blue of the lake.
Welcome to the Dream Journal. From the studios of KSQD in Santa Cruz, the Dream Journal is a weekly show where we explore the healing powers of your nighttime dreams through conversations with dream experts and with you.
So there's now those vital minutes, time is keenly found.
In the words of Carl Jung, who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens. Coming to you live from the Ashland Hills Hotel and Suites in Ashland, Oregon at the IASD conference. So this music in the background is called Very Remote. We are here for the 40th annual event, and we're going to talk about what people here are looking forward to for the upcoming week. There is also still time to register for the online portion of the conference at iasdconferences.org/2023. So I am your host, Catherine Bell of Experiential Dreamwork, and welcome to the Dream Journal. The Dream Journal is also a weekly podcast. Please subscribe, rate, and review, but most importantly, tell your friends about the podcast as an opportunity for you to talk about your own dreams. Because I'm here to share my passion about dreams, and I'd love to have you talk to your friends about dreaming. So you could use that as an opportunity to say, hey, I've been listening to this podcast. Guess what? I'm interested in my dreams. How about you? Are you? You know, this is what we're all here for, is talking about dreams. And we're here at that conference, and we're going to talk a lot more. I'm going to have a rotating suite of guests here today to talk about why they're at the conference and what dreams mean to them and why they like to share them. But I'm going to start with my personal dream work. So I would like to summarize that I have actually had a whole series of dreams leading up to this conference, probably 6 or 7 dreams about playing the ukulele on stage. Can you believe it? Sometimes at the conference, sometimes just in front of a crowd of thousands of people. So I brought my ukulele. Yes, I did. One of these days I'll have to play it for the Dream Journal listeners on the radio show. So that is my dream work that I'm bringing here because, you know, I have to say yes to my dreams. I'm going to use my ukulele at the Dream Ball, and if there's time at the end of my talk, I'm going to play a song that I've written that was a dream-based song. Oh, how embarrassing is that? Something about dreams always gets me going. So I will be taking callers during the last 30 minutes of the show. You can email us anytime at onair@ksqd.org. And I'll give out the phone number when we get close to the end of the show for call-ins. So sitting with me, I have 3 dreamers here at the conference. I'll say their names, and then we'll go back around and give each person a chance to talk. I'll start with Victoria Rabinowe. Am I saying that correctly? Rabinowe. Okay, thank you so much. And Victoria does a lot of dreaming and art. And that's her main thing. Several books from Arthur many times over. Also, we have Curt Hoffman here, who is a paleontologist? No, archaeologist.
A recovering
archaeologist, is also passionate about dreams and has had many dreams about tarot songs, and pieces of music that are for each individual tarot card. And then sitting right across from me is Marcia Emery, who is an intuitive dreamer and also multiple author. And she's a local here up in Ashland, Oregon. Yay! And then we have also Bob Krumhansl over here. And you're very big in the IASD, but I don't know what you do about dreams.
With dreams, I'm just a lifelong dreamer. I'm representing the common person who's interested in dreams and finding out as much as we can about how they can help us in our life, give us direction.
Perfect. Okay. Well, yes. Well, we're all lifetime dreamers, and Bob's representing the dream enthusiast, which is a valuable part of IASD for sure. And Toby is over there in the corner. Is Curt's wife, and then my husband's over there, Max. So we have quite a crew over here. Marcia's partner over there. So we're just at the end of the registration hall at the conference. So if you hear a little bumping around, you'll know what that is all about. But let's start. I have a question for everybody today, and I'd like to go down the line and see what people say. And then the idea is, why do we do these conferences? What are we doing here? We spent all this money to get here, took a week out of our schedule. Many of us have spent hours and hours preparing and organizing the conference. It's a lot of work. So what is the value of a conference? So that's the question for today. You guys can be thinking about your answers. I want to start with Victoria Rabinowe.
Oh, thank you. We all dream. Whether we remember our dreams or not, it's about a third of our life. Why wouldn't we know more about that?
Mm-hmm.
And I found that dreams are like thumbprints. We all dream differently. Some of right here in this group, we all have a different focus and a different interest. And mine is that dreams are the source of creativity. So all you have to do is go to sleep at night, and all these wild stories just pop into your head. So what do you do about that? Well, there are many persuasions at this conference. And so even though my interest is art, I'm interested in meeting the scientists and philosophers and psychotherapists, artists, writers, shamans.
Mm-hmm.
This is a unique conference that embraces all of these disciplines, which is really quite rare.
Mm-hmm.
And so that no matter what I hear, it feeds my work, where it's all creative.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever we're thinking about dreams and however we're investigating them, they're all creative.
Excellent. Okay. And every night in our dreams we have that creativity. It's I think Julia Lockhart and Michael Blagrove talk about that our work of dream is the work of art.
Absolutely, absolutely. Inspiration and just plain crazy stuff. Why not? Why are we pigeonholing dreams that they don't make sense? They don't mean anything to hard science because we can't quantify them.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's interesting about coming to the conference too, is that we're all willing to stay really open-minded to what is going on in our minds and in our consciousness that cannot be quantified, and yet all will be mystery.
Yes, that's so true. Thank you so much, Victoria. All right, I'm going to come back to Victoria actually because she has to me some interesting Zoom events around the conference that I want to touch on before we finish this segment. But let me switch now to Curt Hoffman.
Sure. Well, as Victoria said, we all dream, whether we know that we do or not. And from a certain perspective, one might not think of anything that could be possibly more intimate or personal than a dream. But what happens at this conference, and what draws me to it every year in and year out, is that what we do here is we share our dreams in a group setting. And the dynamic that creates and reveals is so much more like another order of magnitude of what we can get from our dreams, is when we bring them out and share them with others who are also committed to the primacy of dreaming. And it just creates an echo effect. I like to refer to it as a synchronicity bubble. And this conference every year creates such a bubble around itself. It extends both forward and backward in time. And it's just wonderful to watch these synchronicities happening.
Okay. I love that. So sharing and also to create a kind of a synchronicity bubble, kind of a vortex where people come together who are paying attention to the unconscious.
By the way, I'd like to make one small correction to what you said at the outset. You indicated that it's still possible to register online. It is also still possible to register in person.
That's true. If you're
And
near
I will-
Ashland, you
that's
can
right.
you can come right down.
Yeah.
We'll be
And
happy to.
you can
sign
register
you up.
either for the entire conference, which technically begins tomorrow evening, or for a single day, if you can't do the whole thing. And so if you go to asdreams.org on the website, you'll find all the information you need there for registration.
Okay.
Or just drop into the registration desk and register.
Right, we're at the Ashland Hills Hotel and Suites.
That's correct.
Yes, so you can Google that to find out where we are. Thank you for that. I appreciate that because we were always welcome drop-ins. Mhm. All right, well, let's turn to Marcia Emery.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm here to attend a family reunion.
Family reunion, love that.
And it's of my dream family. My dream family. And it's just, like you said, there's a feeling of passion and joy when you are around people who also share, just feel with you. And I came, this is the 40th anniversary. I came in at conference number 4.
Wow.
So I've been around for 36 years. And why do I come back year after year? Maybe because I like to travel, meet people. No, I like to meet with my dream family. And we share our experiences. And it doesn't matter whether we're researchers, interested in art, this field, that field. We have a common bond, and that is with dream. And if I could say briefly, my dreams began in 1971. I didn't ask for them. I didn't program them. They woke me up in the middle of the night, and I was in the middle of an accident. And at the time, let's look at what I was doing in my life. I was a professor, a faculty member. I'm a psychologist, a master's, and a PhD, teaching psychology, minding my business. That's one part of my life. Another part of my life is I love dance, and I had a dance partner, and I had a dance group, and I had a boyfriend who was a musician, a jazz musician. That was another part of my life, and all of that was happening. And the bottom line, and I could talk more about this at another point, one dream after another was coming to me and came true. Some metaphorically, some literally. Now, I'm a shrink. I'm a psychologist. I thought I was losing my mind because I never heard anything. And it began, it kind of, my intuitive doorway, let's say, was flung wide open. And a hand was extended, come. And I was just swept into these extraordinary dreams, going past time and space, where you could look at the future, where you could get answers to your problems currently, where you could get your creative bone, massaged, lucid dreaming. All of these things, were possible. And here I was, having these dreams come true. And it took me 10 years to find out that the name of these dreams was precognitive. Pre before cognition, knowing, giving you a view and a look into something that is coming up. And I want to say it could be a warning, it could be a premonition. That's how lots of people hear about them. But how about the promise of what's to come? I saw babies being born. I was led to a job. I was led to a man in my life who I'm now married to.
That's so sweet.
Yes. So I'll end on that sweet note.
Yeah. Okay. The dream family. I like that. I count myself as one.
Yeah,
Sure.
yes, for sure.
Okay. Thank you, Marcia Emery. And then Bob Krumhansl. What is why do you keep coming to these?
Okay, I'll share some information. I lived in Puerto Rico 40 years ago, and I found out through a small publication that a fellow from New York, Bill Stimson, started writing Dream Network Bulletin, that they were starting an organization called the Association for the Study of Dreams, with the first conference in San Francisco. It really intrigued me, so I flew all the way from Puerto Rico to San Francisco to be at that first meeting. And you asked, what does the conference offer? Well, number one, a family. Everybody's very friendly. I'm an introvert by nature, but I'm an extrovert among dream people, for sure. So it's interesting how that works. Also, I found out that people who are very successful in the field who had written books, very open to talking with you, just like a regular person. So there wasn't that I'm better than you type of mentality. Everybody's open to learn a little bit more about what they have.
Mhm.
So the conferences, as they've evolved over, and I wasn't sure how long it would last, because dreamers are notoriously over-optimistic and pie in the sky. We're 40 years later and stronger than ever, in my opinion. The current conferences offer about a third of the offerings are workshops, where you actually get hands-on experience, finding out different approaches to dealing with dreams. And it's terrific. The different tracks we have, 4 to 5 tracks, 6 tracks, including the research for the academics. There's psychic, there's spiritual, there's dream work, there's artwork, creativity. Dreams and the arts is the focus of this particular one. So you get exposure to different approaches, and you always keep on learning and growing from. And these conferences are great. We're planting a bunch of seeds that you can work on as you see fit.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Thank you, Bob. Bob Krumhansl. So on the first conference, so you
and now I'm working on them. Now I'm working on helping out run them, which is a complicated process.
Yes, it is. A lot of us sitting right here are very involved in all of this, for sure. But 40 years, more than that, because there's been at least 1 year missed along the way. But that's our 40th annual conference. And I'll just say for myself that one of the things that I love about this is as Bob was just saying, the variety of approaches. I was really blown away. My first conference was in Anaheim, which is not that long ago. That was 17, maybe. When I 18, when I showed up, I was like amazed at the variety of approaches to dreaming, and all these. There was the nerdy scientific people, and then there was these artsy people, there were shamanic people, there was enthusiasts, there are people like me who are interested in feelings and the body. And it was just, we all had the same language, which was dreaming. And we all dream. It's sort of a breaks out of our silos. So we have our academic silos where we separate biology from psychology, but we know better. As dreamers especially, we really get to, it's all connected as exactly. So it's all connected. And one of the things I like to do at these conferences is to take a recent dream that I'm curious about and maybe explore that same dream in 4 or 5 or 6 different workshops in different ways and see what comes of it. And it can be really amazing to see. Victoria and I were just chatting about this before we started, the idea that you can work one dream in many different ways. I wonder if you wanted to say a little bit more about that.
Well, I'm working on my next book, and in that book, I have about 60 different ways to work a dream in creative
60,
ways.
wow, not 16, but 60.
60. And what I came up with is working one dream 60 different ways.
Wow.
And every single time, something else happens. So I just wanted to underscore that dreams do mean something. They're, no matter how crazy they seem on the surface. So for me as a creative, I love metaphor and allegory. And so I turn the dreams around and around. I look at them up and down. I look at them and from poetry to making masks, to making maps and fairy tales and melodramas, and I play around with them. Even the scariest dreams become lighter when you mess around with them. So I've always told my students that they can work one dream their whole life long, but I never did it. And now, to prepare the book, I have spent years on one, and it's a simple dream. It's not a big dream that we normally write about. And it's just been such a wonderful lesson for me to actually do it.
Yeah.
Actually look at dreams. And of course, I do the same as you. I generally bring one dream to the conference, and I go to the different workshops. And again, it just opens. And because we can talk about it from different points of view, we can talk to philosophers, we can talk to mathematicians, and each dream, that's the other thing, is that I love mining the dreams for with people that have different backgrounds, so everyone hears something different in your dream, and that's part of what is happening.
Yeah, and meeting all these different people with different backgrounds is just very enriching to my dream life. I have this phrase I like to say. You're talking about meaning. All dreams have meaning. So a dream can be meaningful without needing to know what it means.
Correct. That's right. Well,
Yeah.
that's part of the poetry.
Yeah, totally. Kurt.
C.G. Jung, in his autobiography, wrote that if he had another life to live, and who knows, but that by now he had not, he would have liked to have been an archaeologist, because the delving into the unconscious of dreams is very much akin to the process of archaeological discovery.
Mm.
So I see a metaphor in my profession there.
And interesting. I've had many dreams of unearthing castles and ruins and things deep in mines, very archaeological.
Yep.
So Marcia, I'm wondering, do you want to say a few words about what are you looking forward to
At the conference, aside from meeting people, I'm trying something new this time.
Mm-hmm.
I usually come, and my passions are intuition. So I'm always, not always, but at every conference, I'm doing something about intuition. This is after I came and said something about precognition. But that's my key word now, precognition.
Precognition,
Because
okay.
they're extraordinary, these dreams. You think you go out there and you kind of reel in, it's like fishing, and you don't know what you're going to reel in. And you reel in something. And oh my God, I never thought about this. And, for me, my life was saved several times through dreams.
Oh.
And it could have been an accident, which I did have. It could have been telling me about a false doctor, a phony doctor, a dermatologist, who in the dream I said, you're a phony, I don't have cancer. The doctor told me I have cancer. And I was real animated in the dream. And it turned out that in real life, I went to a doctor who, I said, you got a little spot at the end of my nose. And I'm lying there, and next thing I know, this doctor puts out a piece of my nose.
Oh, no.
And the blood is spurting all over.
Yes.
And I'm a public speaker. And I'm saying, what's going on here? What's happening? And he said, well, I thought you might have cancer.
I thought you might have cancer.
So we come back, and he said, well, I'm going to send this away for a biopsy. And I said, what's next? And he said, well, I think you're going to need surgery. Guess what happened? Bingo! I remembered the dream. You're a quack. You're a quack. And at that point, when he pressed $1,000, my little Taurus prize, he said, no, I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back. And of course, I went to have other tests, and I think what was wrong with me. So it's this type of thing here. When I start talking about precognition, I have a dream. I hear that from everybody. And I'm here to say, I want to inspire people that I'm not special because I have dreams and prophesize, show me the future. Anyone could do it. So what I'm looking forward to here is, again, bringing my message. But this time it's in a broader basis. I'm doing a 2-hour workshop on my adventures in precognition and intuitive approach. This is going back to 1971 and showing glimpses of these different dreams. Because for 10 years, I didn't know the word. Dream it, live it. And I was learning. And all the time I'm dreaming things that are coming true. So I'm here to not share my word, but share the word that we all have this gift. And I want to inspire people to explore their own capacity to get into these dreams.
Thank you. That's Marcia Emery. And I'm glad that you brought that up. I wonder, Kurt, you want to talk a little bit about your offerings this week? What are you going to be presenting?
Well, at last year's conference, I presented an hour-and-a-half workshop, not a workshop, but a special presentation on a project that I had undertaken at that time as a result of the previous year's conference, to write musical selections from dreams to go along with the 78 tarot cards. This project is now complete, and I'll be presenting on it again and showing a little bit of the methodology that I used to get there. It's a complex web of connections, a matrix of ideas. But in the course of a 19-month period, I recorded 773 dreams relating to this project.
773.
That's right.
Okay.
And it's now all done. There's a website, and it's all up and running.
Okay.
People can access it.
So if you draw a card, you can go to your website
That's
and,
right.
And get the music.
That's right.
Okay. Thank you. I see one of our guests for the next second half is arriving. We'll say hi in a minute. But Victoria, how about you? Why don't you say a few words about what you're presenting this week?
Well, I'm presenting a couple things, but my 2-hour workshop is on how to journal with your dreams. So we all wake up with a dream that's crazy, mixed up. We have no idea what it is. And so what I'm offering is showing how do you break it down so that you can start to understand it, not analyze it, not necessarily interpret it, but how do you start to understand some of the messages that are coming through, especially if you don't have a dream group, or you don't have a community, and you're all alone in the morning. And how do you do this? How do you make sense out of this crazy stuff that is coming through? And so I have some very, very simple methods that I use every morning to open a dream.
Okay.
And then I'll also be presenting 20 different ways to work one dream from my book.
So 20 of the 60.
20 of the 60.
Okay.
I was only given enough time.
I know. Time is limited.
I just wanted to mention that
Yeah.
one of the neat things about the conference is that they have morning dream groups between 8 and 12 people. This year there are 8 different approaches to dreams that the conference attendees can sign up for and experience a different approach to dealing with the dreams.
Yep.
I've been in a dream group with you and with Victoria over a period of time over the years. It's very educational.
Yeah. The morning dream groups are very popular. There's a chance to be with the same group of people 4 mornings in a row and get to see what the really fresh dreams are when you're working. So I want to end this segment by asking Victoria to tell us a little bit about her offering. She's going to have a Zoom event July 1st, I believe.
July 2nd.
July
is Sunday.
Sorry.
And what I've been doing since COVID, since we haven't been able to meet, and even still some people really can't travel, is to start doing these invitational Zoom events, which is bringing some of us together over the internet. And I was always against, how do you do dream work virtually? It can't be done. Well, guess what? It sure can, and it can be very intimate as well. So I have been having every month or two an invitational on a different theme. In other dreams, we did trickster dreams, and I've always invited another dreamer to share that with me. Well, I got it into my head to do one before the conference to let the presenters share what they're going to present, because we get to the conference and we look at the list, but we have no sense of who that is. And then I thought, well, why not do an after the conference wrap up so we can, there's so many things going on at this conference, and we have 6 tracks going on at any given time, so we can't do everything we want to do. So that's what I'm going to offer, is a chance to Zoom together when we all go home to our different parts of the world, and to share our experiences and our epiphanies and our delight in this conference.
So how can folks sign up to be part of this? Do you want to get an email address or webpage?
Yes.
Maybe
my email address is dreamingarts@gmail.com. And I'm Victoria.
Okay.
And please, yes, let me know, and I'll send you the Zoom link. And then you don't have to have been at the conference. You can hear what happened.
So even if you can't make it, you get to get a wrap up of what the conference was all about.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Victoria. So Victoria Rabinowe, we have Curt Hoffman, Marcia Emery, and Bob Krumhansl. And so we're going to, let me look at my notes here. I'm going to say this is broadcast live from the KSDD studios. Well, kind of. This is actually broadcast live from the Ashland Hills Hotel and Suites. But we are broadcast through Santa Cruz, and Rick Buffalo is manning the station there. And we're also co-broadcast live in San Jose by KCXU. And we will be right back. We have several other people for the next round of guests. So thank you so much. We are back. This is the Dream Journal. My name is Catherine Bell, and I want to let you know that phones are open, so we are going to take questions from callers. I'm not sure I'll be able to hear anything, but I think Rick may have to text me the questions, because I discovered if I'm listening to my computer, there's a horrible delay and echo, so I have my computer turned off, the audio turned off, so we're just speaking into the void here. All right, so this is, I'll let you know that I'll be traveling next week, so we'll have a replay of the show because I'll still be on the road, but I will be relaxing at a undisclosed beach location in Oregon after the conference. So I will be doing a replay of the show I did last fall with Natural DreamWork founder Roger Kamenetz. After the week after that, I'll be back with the founder of the formidable young platform, Marcia Emery. So I'm very excited to have him on the show. But, the phones are open, and I bet I didn't say the number yet. The number to call is 831-900-5773. You can also send an email, which might be good, because then Rick can forward me the emails, and I'll be able to read them from there. Okay, so my name is Catherine Bell. You're listening to K-Squid, and the topic is the IASD conference, because here we are in Ashland. We're up at the Ashland Hills Suites Hotel and Suites, and this is the 40th annual conference. And I have now 2 new guests. We had 4 guests that last round. This time we have Linda Schiller, multiple author of Modern Dreamwork and PTS Dreams, and Lauren Schneider, who's also an author. She works with therapy, using tarot around dreams. And any other thing I have to say here before I get going? No, I think we're good. Okay, so so the question for the day is, why do we do this? Why are we coming to the conference? Good, Victoria's come back. Yay, so we have her again, Victoria Rabinowe. So the question is, why do we do these things? Why do we come to the conference? We take a whole week off, and then we spend our money, and we reorganize our lives to come to these crazy conferences. Lauren Schneider, please, go ahead.
So I find that every time I come to the conference, I usually have a big dream, and that starts to initiate me into a whole new growth in my life. So this conference has changed my life and continues to. And then to get together, not with just friends, but people who are working dreams from every different field, is just so enriching.
So enriching, and it's enough that we reorganize our lives to go to these events. Thank you, Lauren. And how about you, Linda Schiller? Why do you do this? Why do you do these crazy conferences?
I do this for love.
For love, okay.
And it has become DreamWork, and the conference as the anchor is one of sort of my life missions and my life's paths. And I didn't know it until I started to come to the conference. And I have just met the most amazing, fascinating people, have learned the most amazing, intriguing, creative ways of working with dreams. And not only do I feel that this group of people is one of my main tribes in life, but these are people, we were at dinner last night, and these are people who grok what we're doing. That word came up at dinner last night. So we grok each other in a way that not everybody in the world does.
Yeah. There's something, this level of understanding that I think is wonderful, though, when you meet people who are so interested in dreams, that I really certainly appreciate. Do you want to add anything, Victoria?
Well, I would. I'd like to just say that
for some bizarre reason, dreams are always put in the woo-woo category.
Yeah.
And everyone dreams. They say it doesn't matter what political persuasion you are, what religion you are, or non-religion. It doesn't matter. And why? We are all authors, you included.
I'm working on it. Almost there.
And our books will go in the woo-woo section, and I don't understand that. I don't understand. I think it is probably because they're so bizarre. Usually, they're metaphorical, they're allegorical. So that's the creative, beautiful part of them. But why they're put on the shelf in that category, I don't understand. And so, coming here, we do talk to hard scientists. Soft scientists and creatives, and many people of all persuasions that take dreams seriously and are not thinking about them as airy-fairy, crazy stuff.
I know we have this saying that if you're a dreamer, that's he's just a dreamer. Like you may say, I'm a dreamer, John, and yet dreamers are the most grounded people that I know. People who are interested in their dreams.
Some of the great Nobel laureate prize winners. Einstein is the best example.
Right, Linda.
You want to jump in?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah. No, I appreciate that you picked up on that, Victoria, because dreams have kind of gotten this airy-fairy rap, and they're not. In our Western culture in particular, I have a partial answer to that, like why does it go in that section of the bookstore? We are a linear society. We think in straight lines. Left brain thinking is rewarded. People say if you can't prove it, it doesn't exist or it isn't true. And that's the zeitgeist of the culture that we live in. We also know, however, that in addition to a left brain, we have a right brain. And that is the source of our creativity, of our music, of our dance, of our art. And we have a soul. And that's where, depending on your point of view, is where our spirituality comes from. In addition to scientists, artists, hard and soft scientists, we're also a group of healers.
Yeah, healers.
We're a bunch of therapists, psychiatrists, and we use, in the most positive sense of the word, the dreams to move the healing, both of our individual selves and of our collective selves as a group, and of the land, of the planet. We use the dreams to move forward into a healing place, and we create a dream body that way that hopefully helps us balance some of the pretty scary things going on in the world.
Oh, yeah. Lauren, please.
Yeah, I mean, I know part of my commitment, and I imagine that's true for my dream sisters here, that my commitment and passion to want to teach about dreams is that there's such a need from people, the general public. As one of us said, we're all dreaming, but people don't realize the incredible intelligence that's available to us every night, and that everybody wants problem solving. Everybody wants creativity. Everybody needs some healing, whether it's of yourself or your family or your lineage. That's all being worked in the dreams. And it's available to us every night, and it's free. And people just don't realize that. And I think that, we're a culture also that tends to denigrate imagination. And the truth is that the problems that we're struggling with need a much greater imagination, and that kind of imagination, boundless imagination, is available at the dream level, so that we could be working dreams not only personally and with clients, but also collectively as problem solvers for some of these complex, collective issues we're facing.
Absolutely. There are so many complex issues facing us right now, and dreams really move forward on all fronts, and we're all dreaming, whether we remember them or not. Even people like us who remember many, many dreams, that most of our dreams we don't remember. So there's something evolutionarily valuable about dreaming, and it's there. It is something that moves us forward. Was it Jeremy Taylor says that dreams are the workshop of evolution? That there's something we're trying different ideas. Like, well, what about like this? Well, what about like that? And so the dream's kind of pushing us forward individually, but then also as a society. think
I
so.
also
Yeah.
like to call dreams the digestive system of the psyche.
The digestive
so
system.
everything we're going through is being digested
Yeah.
and analyzed and worked in the dream.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always, it's kind of like a play. It's always moving toward solution.
Yeah.
Dreams always move us toward a solution.
Yeah.
Just think about how much easier it would be if people were listening. I mean,
It's helped me tremendously. Linda, yeah. Okay.
So just to piggyback on what Lauren is saying,
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like we could all be talking out of each other's mouths because,
right.
having been doing this for a long time, we have a lot of similar orientations.
Yeah.
But in terms of free dreams, I tell my clients that if they learn to keep a dream journal, and even more if they learn to incubate dreams as well as keep a dream journal, it's free therapy every night. So you can really do your own personal work, when you have a relationship with your dreams, particularly if whether you're working them yourself or with other people.
Yeah.
And on the other points that Lauren just made, there's a psychotherapeutic system called ADEP. Letters, doesn't matter what it stands for. Accelerated Experiential Dynamic
I
Psychotherapy.
don't know that one.
The main premise is we're all hardwired for healing.
Oh.
That our systems want to move toward growth. And our job, whether we're therapists or dreamers or friends, is to help ourselves and other people move toward the growth place in our system. And our dreams, whether they're happy, positive dreams or whether they're scary nightmare dreams, all come in the service of growth and healing and moving us toward that place of equilibrium so that we do digest our material as opposed to have it sit like an undigested lump and cause all sorts of other problems in our system.
Yeah, absolutely. Those undigested memories and feelings, which is rightly, we may not have time to do the emotional work in the moment, but the dreams are pecking away at it best I can every night. Did you have something you want to jump in with, Victoria?
I've noticed that we, as a society, a Western society, we give away the opportunity to be creative and imaginative. We're going to films, we're reading other people's books, we're constantly on the internet, and we're playing games. All of these things that we're doing are clogging our daytime so that at night we are getting the dreams, but we're not spending any time thinking about them because we're going to the easier to watch films day in, day out, and the news, and we're just clogging up our waking time with other stuff, not our own.
Lauren.
Yeah, if I could piggyback on that. I completely agree. We are inundated with images from the outside, and these images are oftentimes propagandistic of certain value systems that are collective. But our own images, our own dreams, have like a blueprint for our own uniqueness and our own unique path. And again, I think people are oftentimes searching for purpose and searching to really fulfill themselves, and that fulfillment has to come from the inside out rather than the outside in, which I think we're wired for, particularly in this culture. The other thing I wanted to, I know a number of people that say they don't dream.
Yes, people say that.
Yes, because they're not remembering dreams.
Right.
And they're always surprised to hear that they're dreaming 5 or 6 dreams a night. But I think another reason people don't remember their dreams is because they get up with an alarm clock. They're very focused on getting into their day immediately. And that just sort of shatters the dream. And also, they don't know what to do with it. It's a language. We just went to see Shakespeare yesterday. It's another language. And it helps to be with people that are familiar with the language. So that they are guides and translators with you to the dream. The other thing is to have people with you. This is why we come to the conference, to have people with you who value your dream. Because the minute that the dream knows it's going to get attention, it shows up in a bigger way.
It does. Yeah. Linda.
We see what we're looking for. We notice what we're paying attention to. We notice what we value. So if we don't value our dreams, or if we don't think they're important, or if we think they're simply random neuron firings of the night and not worth our attention, we are going to be less likely to remember them. So if we change our orientation and our relationship with the dream, we will be gifted by remembering more. And then if you add to that, if you talk with other people who also value dreams, you will remember even more and get even more juice from the dream.
They call that like a virtuous cycle instead of a vicious cycle. It's a virtuous
I
cycle.
love that.
You
That's
remember
great.
them more, you talk about them more, and then you go back and you remember them more. So it enhances. Yes,
That's great.
Yeah, Victoria.
So I'm very interested in forming dream groups so that you do bring this crazy dream that means nothing, and you bring it to a group of friends, relatives, people maybe you don't even know. And what made a dreamer out of me was that Jung himself said, you start in the place of not knowing. And if I can share anything, that is the place that you come to a dream as an innocent, not as a professional Jungian or Freudian or a bunch of any other things, that you just simply engage your curiosity and that you wonder together. And depending on who's in the group, everyone has such an enormous background that everyone hears the dream in a different way. And what the listeners hear are the puns and the word plays, because the dreamer is so caught up in the reality of the dream that they actually have this storyline. They don't actually necessarily hear the theme of the dream or the plays on words, and the dreams are so clever and so intelligent. So for me, why would I sit and talk about the news of the day when I could talk about dreams and wonder in a group of curious fellow detectives?
Well, we're often really so close to our own dreams that we don't recognize the imagery that's so apparent to other people, which is the value of sharing dreams with other folks.
What that brings up for me in terms of the wonder is that many people, I'll speak for myself, in childhood I didn't really get seen fully or seen for my magical child, that incredibly imaginative child that was plugged into all kinds of things through intuition, right? That wasn't seen. And what I have found is being in a dreaming community invites that magic. When I first got here, I said, oh my gosh, it's like going to Hogwarts.
Hogwarts, I love that.
And it's because of so many magical people from so many different perspectives, you know? The scientists are magical. The researchers are magical. They're just all looking through their own lens. And I think that it awakens something that has been so left out many times of our families, of our cultures. And so that's a deep healing for me that I think happens in a group like this.
Excellent. Thank you, Lauren. And Linda, what do you...
So it's like a kaleidoscope. Right? When we come to the conference, we are a kaleidoscope. I'm looking at your tie-dyed shirt, a kaleidoscope of many colors, and every one of us has our own unique shade and design and color, and we come together and we turn the kaleidoscope for 4 or 5 glorious days. And then when we go out into our lives, we bring this kaleidoscope of different colors and flavors and tastes with us to our dream groups. And an additional wonderful thing about working with a group of people is that you get as much from other people's dreams as you get from your own dream. So it's sort of like a bonus prize for being in a group. You not only do whatever the work of your own dream or the delight of your own dream is, you get to delight and learn and grow from other people's dreams.
It's true.
As well.
So Linda, we're almost ready to finish up. I wonder if you have just like a few words that you want to say to encourage the listeners, or just as we're finishing up. This is Linda Schiller. What do you have any few words you want to say? Though that was just lovely what you said there.
Thank you. I'm not sure if you're going to at the end tell people if they want to find our books.
Now's the time.
So the readers among us, I have 2 books. My first is called Modern Dream Work, and that's new tools for decoding your soul's wisdom. And I was telling Victoria last night, I blogged for 7 years until it became a book. And then it became a book and is now out there through Llewellyn. And then my second book is PTS Dreams. And the subtitle is Transform Your Nightmares from Trauma Through Healing Dream Work. And that one grew directly out of the pandemic. That was my pandemic project. That one bloomed full growth, almost like Athena from Zeus's head, in 6 months, because I felt the urgency of the world to get the message out, because we were all going through global trauma.
Right. Okay, I love that. Okay, how about you, Lauren? What would you like to say to finish up here?
Well, I have a method I've developed over 40 years for people that don't remember their dreams, which is to use imagery and lay that imagery out on the table. But you get to pick from so many different images, like 50 different decks, that it becomes your image.
Yep.
So it's called Therapy. It's all in the cards, is my book. And Therapy is an integration of psychotherapy and tarot, oracle cards, dream cards, whatever imagery you're attracted to.
Okay. Thank you, Lauren. Wonderful. And Victoria Rabinowe, we know we already checked. Do you have any final words you wanted to say to say goodbye?
My book is, my first book is I Had the Craziest Dream Last Night, which is creative methods for inquiring into the genius of the night mind. And the one I'm working on now, which will be out any day, is Conversations with Psyche. And that's guidelines for creative, soul-stirring inner work.
Okay, wonderful. So I'm Catherine Bell. My book is not out yet. I'm working on it. Yes, I'm working on it. If you want to find out about the IASD, you can find us at asdreams.org. So that you can join and be in on what we find out about the next conference, which is still mysterious. We don't know what we're going to do next year, but maybe somebody knows. Maybe Bob Haas knows. We don't know, but we're going to be somewhere. I'm so glad to have you 3 here today, and this has been an amazing episode here at the Ashland Hills Hotel and Suites. I am Catherine Bell, and this has been The Dream Journal. Thanks for listening. You can find out about my own dream coaching practice at experientialdreamwork.com. Email me at catherine@ksqd.org. That's KATHERINE@ksqd.org. Please contact me so we can talk about dreams and so I can let you know about my upcoming dream offerings. I always have groups and workshops happening on Zoom. The Dream Journal is produced at the studios of KSQD in Santa Cruz. Archives and 24/7 live stream at ksqd.org. Remember to subscribe, rate, and review. I'd like to thank Rick Kleffel, engineer and music creator. You can find the ambient music at pandemia.com. Phones today was Eric Nelson and Eva Miladies on audio editing. Intro music is Water Over Stones, and this beautiful outro music is called Everything. They're both created by Mood Science. Join me again next Saturday at 10. And tomorrow morning, when you wake up, take a minute to write down your dream and bring it to the next Dream Journal.
Knows that so much is wrong, but much more is